So welcome back, guys. On the last video we tried to cut some 2x6s and it ended in disaster. The blade was, I guess the set was off on the blade, and I got some very wavy cuts and wasn't able to use that lumber for the order that I'm trying to fill. Today I think we've got a good blade on the mill. We're going to try to complete this order. We only need 12 more 2x6s, so let's get a log on the mill and see if we can get this wrapped up. This log is presenting some challenges already. We got nails, 3 nails. I don't know if I'd honestly be scared to try to even pull those out, because if I pull them out, I don't know what else is going to be in this log. And we've got to move this log up on the mill a little bit as well, because the blade is not going to go past this point right here. So, oh, that's going to be risky. I think I'm gonna pull these out and give it a try. There's 4 nails there, but I think there's some nice lumber in here. So my original plan on this log was to try my best to get 2 cants out of it, but since it was obviously a yard tree and it's had nails in it, I am just going to cut some very, very thick slabs off of it to try to get up under any possible metal that might still be in it. And as y'all can tell, these logs have been sitting for a while, but I do think once we get up under this, we're going to have some really nice lumber in this one. All right, so at this point we've got our 6-inch cant here, and we have managed to not hit any nails at all. So that's wonderful. So we'll get this flipped up on the edge and start getting our boards out of it. So at this point, what I like to do is just cut this top edge off and then flip this whole cant onto that flat edge. And that way I don't have to flip it anymore on the remainder of the cut. And it looks like I was right. We do have some very, very nice wood still in this log. All right, so this is what we're left with. We got six, excuse me, 6 2x6s out of that, and they all look really, really nice. Let's get this one flipped over here. There we go. There we go. So y'all can see these look really, really good. There was some really beautiful lumber down up under the ugliness of that outer edge on that log. They all look great, except for this one right here. This one turned out, I made some kind of a miscalculation somewhere, and this particular one is about 2.5 inches or so thick. So we're gonna put this one back on the mill, get it down to 2, and then we are gonna move on and do a few more. So here's all the waste from that log that we just cut up, and y'all are probably thinking, man, there is a lot of waste there, and you'd be right. There really is quite a bit of waste here. If you look at this, I could easily get another 2x6 out of that one, and that one as well. But if you remember, we had those nails in this log, and I don't know if there are other nails in the log, and my whole point in making these really thick flitches or slabs or whatever you want to call them, my whole point was to try to get up under the possible nails that were there. So it's really more time effective just to cut off big thick chunks like this to avoid the nails, instead of trying to make thin cuts and end up hitting nails. If I hit a nail, I'm going to ruin a blade, lose a lot of time, and it's just really not worth it. So that's why we've got quite a bit of waste on this particular log. And you may be thinking, well, why don't you get a metal detector and find the nails and dig them out? Well, the metal detector that I have only goes maybe 1 to 2 inches deep. And even if it went deeper, if it found the nails in the middle of a log, I couldn't dig them out. And the ones that are on the surface, if it found 2 or 3 nails on the surface and it took me 10, 15, 20 minutes to dig those nails out, I could be using that time to mill logs that don't have nails in them and make more lumber. So it just makes sense sometimes to make deeper cuts and waste some than to use up all that time trying to dig nails out. And inevitably, you hardly ever get all of the nails out and you end up ruining a blade. So it's just better to not mess with nails if you don't have to. So this next log, it's also pretty ugly. I'm hoping it's got some good lumber in it as well, but we're looking at about 16 inches on this end and 16 inches on that end, but it looks like it's got kind of a skinny spot right here in the middle. This was undoubtedly getting towards the top of this tree because we see a whole lot of places where limbs were, so it's going to be full of knots. So we'll just see what we can get out of it. I'm hoping I can get 6 out of this one. If I can get 6 out of this one, that'll give me the 40 2x6s that I need to fill this order that I'm working on. So let's go ahead and get this one cut up and see what we get. So that really couldn't have turned out much better. These boards look great. They do have quite a few knots in them, but they are still perfectly usable. They look really nice. Let's scrape some sawdust off so y'all can see a little better. Yeah, I mean, those are some nice boards. Very, very nice. Turned out the dimensions were just, I mean, you're just really not gonna get a whole lot better than that. So yeah, what a difference a good blade makes. So you saw that giant slab that I cut off. So since this one didn't appear to have any nails on it, I will put this one back up on the mill, and I shouldn't have any trouble getting one more 2x6 out of this slab. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. I didn't think I could get 2 out of it, but I did. So that's a good deal. What a difference a good blade makes. Really, the blade set on the last video was obviously way off because this blade has been going through knots and everything and just remaining true. So blade set is undoubtedly the problem that I was having in that last video. I'm happy to say that this blade is cooperating just a little bit better. But those blades, the reason that the set was off is I've got the Cook's cat claw sharpener and setter, and they both work really well. And honestly, it's just kind of a function of my own laziness. The sharpening part is really easy, but the setting part is not. It's kind of tedious. It's kind of a pain. So I just kind of sharpen them and hope for the best. So it's really my fault that those teeth were out of set. And I think what I'm probably going to do in the future, since I really don't have time to sharpen, is I'm probably going to sell that setup and start using Wood Mizer Resharp again. So anyways, so if anybody's interested in a Cook's cat claw sharpener and setter setup, email me falllineridge@gmail.com and we can probably work something out. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the next one.